Let it go, make my body go, make our bodies higher and higher.
When we come back here, is we just accept it. We accept corruption. We accept bad water. We accept that women and men don't have equal rights. We just accept it. Hey, you can vote. Who cares if only 6% of you are CEOs? Who cares?
Sir,
Who cares? Hillary Clinton was a woman.
Sir, I feel angry when I find problems in Tunisia and does not exist in America. I will
Absolutely.
speak from personal point.
Yeah, go ahead.
First, the domain of the developing. So you study Android, Kotlin, what else language to develop to create an application, and then you will pay $25 to create account in Google Play developer. So you create your application. So and you say, so now I will buy it. When you create your account, you can buy your application. You must create another account called the merchandise account.
Okay.
So I have pushed the button like this, and alert message saying Tunisia doesn't support this service. It's disappointing, and I have lose many time to learn language like Kotlin, new language. So another point, you know that in this time PayPal has refused to duplicate their service in Tunisia, and you know that 80% from sites use PayPal
Yep.
as a method of payment.
Right.
So you see these two problems that maybe face every developer engineer.
Yep.
You see, I feel angry because I can't change these two problems. My country must change their policies, or your societies in America or France must help our country and to duplicate this service. You see?
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much, because he said something critical right there. You like that? Good.
Thanks.
Here's what I like about what he just said. He's angry and he's frustrated and he feels hopeless. But the problem is right here is you said, I can't do anything about it.
Yes.
But I disagree with that, because whoever's making that decision is a human. Some human is making that choice. America, Tunisia, I don't know. You're human, which means if you have to run for politics and make that change, you can do that. Because right now you're a democracy, right? That's what's going on. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but impossible is a word that I reject. I just reject it. Because as Nelson Mandela said, everything's going to be impossible until it's done. Things have changed. Your country knows that better than anybody else. It can change. It's not easy. Like me and this gentleman right here had a long talk about the difficulties of change. It's never as easy, oh, let's just change it. Change is not easy, which is why everybody fears it. This right here is all driven by this emotion right here. People are afraid. You're afraid you're not going to get a job. You're afraid of corruption. You're afraid that things are going to continue to turn the way they are. So what happens is we accept this, and this becomes our identity. Now what I mean by that is this. Listen very carefully. Tunisian lemons are not as good as American lemons. That is a family that has turned. So we can judge that family. They're saying the wrong things. Absolutely they are. But the thing is they're driven by fear. They want their son to have the best, and the best isn't Tunisian. That's a lie. But it's a lie we are telling and accepting. That was an acceptable truth that he told to a teacher, because that's what he believes about this country. This is what he believes about himself. Now, I'm going to show you the cow. And I'm worried about time, so I want to make sure I get here on purpose, because this is going to be the challenge. Because all of this is driven in one space, but it all starts right here where we accept it. And I know you're going to be like, I don't accept it. I disagree. You accept it if you don't do something about it. So what you have to do is not accept it. Don't accept politics as it is. Don't accept information as it is. Don't accept the rules of how you get your certificate the same. If it's not fair and it's not right, don't accept that only 6% of women are CEOs. So what would I tell you? If you tell me 6% of women are CEOs, what is my response to you?
Go be a CEO of your own company.
Go show them that women CEOs are the best CEOs in the world. Dominate. You are better than Steve Jobs. Go show them. But that's what it's going to take. But when we tell her to be afraid, oh, if you're a CEO, the guys are going to come against you. If you're a CEO, you're going to get torn down. All of that will be true. But unless she has the courage, which someone mentioned over here, to fight that fight. So let me show you, remember this spot right here. Let me show you the different view. Let me just turn this a little bit different. See, to me, to go, this is purpose. I choose differently. I'm going to choose to fight that fight. It might take you 50 years. Nelson Mandela was in jail for what, 30 years? 27 years? He fought the fight and came up and stuck to the same values that he went into jail for. How long are you willing to fight? Well, not long. Well, then you really accepted that. Don't deny that. Education in the United States has been terrible for 120 years. We are ranked in the middle of all developed nations, and we just accept it. Well, I don't. I don't accept it, which is how her mom heard about me, because I gave a speech. Someone heard about this because I go into developing cities like Flint or Detroit, and I speak against the way we do education. And I'm a teacher, but I don't accept it. Am I changing it? I don't know. But what I'm doing is fighting every step of the way. And I'm going to tell you, I have people who love me and people who hate me. My own school tried to fire me here, though. Tried to fire me. Because I'm telling us we can do better for kids. The most common statement out of my mouth to my principal is this what's best for kids? Oh, we're going to have to write you up for that. Right? This is the fight. It's never going to be easy. But I choose to fight for education. I choose to fight for your generation. I don't care if it's Tunisia or Timbuktu. I don't care. Kids deserve a chance to write their own futures. And adults are messing it up. Well, here's what I'm telling you. Stop accepting it. Stop. You've got to choose to do something more. Don't say it's impossible, because it's not. What it is hard. Really, really hard. And could you fail? Yep. But you're going to let somebody make that choice for you? No way. You're going to let people give you bad news? You're going to let people shut down your school? You're going to let people sit there and not let kids? If you believe that education can see kids differently, then open your own school. We tried to, made it right to the finals, and lost. That's what happened on my trip home last year. They told us we lost our competition. Okay, what am I going to do? Go home and cry? I'm 46. What do I got left? I got another fight in me. Because I got 2 kids you saw up there that deserve a better education. So I'm going to keep on fighting, because I believe that education can be better for kids. I absolutely believe that. But to believe that, what you got to learn to do is, one, you got to find your purpose. What are you angry about? What are you going to fight for? And I'm going to tell you right now, what I hear every year is Tunisia. Fight for your country. And right now, a lot of you are like, well, we're fighting for what we want. No. You fight for what's coming after you. Because you might fight for 80 years and lose or win, and you might not reap the benefits of your fight, but the next generation will. There's a kid who's 6 years old somewhere who needs PayPal to work. Then you got to win that fight. Not for you, for them. It's who's coming after you. I've already finished high school, y'all. I can retire in a few years. But what I want to do is make it better, not only for her 4 years, but then my kids and my kids' kids. I might not win the fight for my kids. But who says gosh? Me. If they have kids, I got to win that fight. So what you need to do next, and this is our next session, is you got to learn to build community. Humans generally power. One second. Humans are generally powered. Well, and nobody fights, and they said no. Okay, one, people are saying no for a reason. Usually because they're afraid. When you want something to change, people are really afraid, right? The people who are in government are afraid of losing power. They're operating out of fear. You can't go, you're afraid. The men control the businesses in America. Why? Because they're afraid that women will show them up. They're afraid of looking weak. Right? In America, independent strength. Man. So they're afraid of looking weak. Look at Donald Trump. All he is, oh, I'm a man. I'm so strong. I'll blow people up. Right? He's so tough. But what does he look like? An idiot. Right? But that's all fear. That's fear. Build community. And his community's leaving him, by the way. Nobody's standing by him. He's down to like 30% approval. The thing is if you want to make the change, people believe what you believe. They clapped for you. So are you willing to lead? Are they going to follow? I don't know. Do they passionately believe? Do they passionately believe about education? Do they passionately believe about the media? Not everybody's going to believe what you believe. Not everybody cares about education. I get told all the time, well, that's how it was when I was a kid. Okay, great. That's great. So I have the conversation. They don't agree with me. I move on. There are people like me and people not like me out there. You and I are not very similar. You're way younger and better looking than I am, right? I come from America, you come from Tunisia, we have different religions, we have different histories, all this stuff. But I learn from you. And when I learn from you, I'm like, oh, there's other ways of doing this. People believe different things. It opens my mind. So I come to Tunisia, or ask to come to Tunisia, just to say it can be different. I'm not saying America is better than anyone else, because I don't believe that. I believe every country has their own pluses and minuses. The difference is who's willing to work on the minuses. My minus happens to be education. Happens to be education. And you know why it's so hard to change? Money. I bet you would say the same thing for you. Money's always the root of that problem. Because rich people love holding on to their money. Okay? We turn that wheel a little bit. Here's the next thing. We're going to spend all day on this tomorrow. Go do. Go!
For other positions. So what is the reason behind that?
The question was, what is the reason they asked to have you apply positions? General question that they want to know if there are other offers coming your way. I would always reply honestly. There's nothing wrong with applying to many positions. Actually, the more the better. Just like buying a house, the more offers you have on a house, the better. So, yeah, there's nothing wrong with telling them about it. Actually, it's to your advantage to tell them.
You know, most interviewers and very good question. So they might be fishing for some information. Very often they want to know.
Hello, my name is NATEG. I'm a second year student at electronic engineering. When you've talked about on-site interviews, I want to know the difference between on-site interviews and Skype interviews.
They can't have you on site because you're not in the same city. I would take it as a bad sign if it was a Skype interview, and if they're doing a Skype first, just because it's faster for them. But you could really get more of the body language and really interact better on an in-person. So I think that's always preferable. Skype is always the backup plan if you can't arrange the in-person, or if you don't want to make the time for the in-person.
Hello, my name is Gouda. I'm from Zuka. So my question is, in most interviews that I have attended, I'm asked the question, what will you bring to our society? So as a new graduated engineer, what am I supposed to answer to this question?
We have trouble understanding the question, so maybe if you can speak closely into the mic, please.
Okay. Well, when I'm asked the question, what I will bring to the company. So what am I supposed to answer as a new graduated engineer?
I think the question is, for the question, the standard question, what do I bring to the company? What's the proper answer? For a new graduate. And again, if you list all the things you've done in your life, it can be volunteer organizations like Najwa Rashawi was saying. If you did a volunteer project, a community project, and you led that project, it can be a very small project, but you were the leader and you were the organizer. You put that could be one of the things you bring to the company, is my leadership ability because I did this. It should be specific and action-oriented and measurable, and you should list the results of it. And you'll be surprised at how many things you can include that are relevant. It could be school projects or anything.
Next question.
Hello, I am Ismati from Ldinic. I would like to ask about the interview. There is some questions. They try to shake you out of balance. How can we prepare for them?
What are your strengths and weaknesses? And I think the strengths is an easy one, but the weaknesses is kind of a trick question. So I think you should really prepare and think about that. And the right answer for that would be, I used to have difficulty with this, but because I've worked on it, now I've managed to overcome it, or something like that. But I think that one's one to sort of throw you off balance or to catch you. Another thing that they might say is, why did you leave your last employer? And they want to hear whether you have something negative to say. So you should never say anything negative about your previous employer or anybody that you've worked with, because that will, they'll think, oh, well, they're probably going to be a negative person and that sort of thing. So those are 2 trick questions.
Hello, my name is Maryam Nene. I'm from NATEG, and I have a question. During the job interview, sometimes you get asked about how much you should get paid. These tricky questions, how do you answer that?
I would say if it's a first interview, you never talk about money. I mean, it's wrong time, wrong place, talk about money. If you get to a second interview, maybe. But right, because really it depends on these factors and your experience and all that. And it's not the right time to speak about money and salary.
One thing to add to that though, numbers in your head ahead of time. You should think about it. You should do your research on salary websites to know what the market is. You should have a number in your head in case they ask.
Unfortunately, the buses are waiting, so the buses are waiting.
Okay, last question I'm going to ask it. Okay, 1 point recommendation. Moving one job to another. Don't bash your previous employer. Why you're moving? You have a job, you're moving to another job. Don't say anything about previous employer. That's quite tough questions. Okay, they ask you, tell us about the negative thing about you. Positive is easy. How do you answer this question? It's a very tricky question, I see it, and I always pose it. Tell us at least one negative thing about you. Okay. Last question.
I think I know the answer for this. This is a really good one because I used to give some of these interviews. They ask you, one of the questions is, tell me about a time you failed in a project. And why, what did you do and what was the outcome when you failed? And the right answer is, here's an example of a project that failed. And I made sure that never happened again. I changed the process, and we succeeded at it the second time. And what we do at Chrysler is we count the number of positive stars, positive outcomes that people give. So some people give themselves negative scores and actually hurt themselves on the interview. And that's something you don't want to do. You want to turn every negative situation into something that you change.